Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming today. Today marks a significant step in the entire search and rescue operations since Saturday the 18th of July. It's now the 10th day after that dreadful incident that happened between Pigeon Island and Kokopo. And what we have done in the last 9 days is basically search and rescue, and then it changed to search and recovery, and that was we have done so far. The results of the search and rescue has been a very exhaustive and a very extensive exercise that we have done between two provinces of East New Britain and New Ireland province. It also involves a lot of agencies, including National Disaster Office, National Maritime Safety Authority, the Provincial Disaster here in East New Britain Province, the Provincial Health Authority in East New Britain Province, the Disaster Office in New Ireland Province, and also the Provincial Health Authority in New Ireland Province. It also have attracted the national interest, and therefore other national agencies that are heavily involved in this is basically the police also as part of the process, but we're still doing search and rescue and recovery at the moment. And so today's presentation, today's conference is for us to outline a major decision that we have made, and that is to start the post-mortem and forensic procedures as part of the entire process. The details of how that will be done, we will leave it to the expert in that. But for today, on behalf of the Provincial Disaster Office, we say thank you to everybody, including our leaders in the province, both two provinces, and also the people at large, the people in the coastal areas of East New Britain Province, but specifically the people of New Ireland Province, where the bodies were found. Around the Jowl Island, the Tigak group of islands, and all the way to the tip of New Ireland Province, which is Kebiang. And so we say thank you to everyone. At this time, maybe I should also use this moment also to convey our condolences to the families who have lost their loved ones. And we can assure them that we will not terminate the search. We will continue the search. But this presentation is about us going into the next step. Currently, we have 13 bodies at the hospital morgue in Nonga. Out of the 13, we have identified 12. There is one that still needs to be identified at Nonga. And we will start the next process through the 12 bodies that are already identified, but it will include the extra one that is there that still needs to be identified, and we will start today. So on behalf of all of us, the police, the provincial government, both East New Britain and New Ireland Province, today we announced the commencement of a post-mortem and forensic procedures that we have organized. We say thank you to the police department, who are also already on board, although it's not yet an investigation, but it's part of the mobilization of information that we may need to use to entirely complete the entire process, so that we give the peace of mind and we assure ourselves that we have done what we could to ensure that we answer maybe unanswered questions, maybe confusion, maybe anxiety, but also to the peace of the people that have lost loved ones. Maybe before I give it to the provincial police commander, let me also advise us, please, we have the right to talk about this in public. The social media is on the palm of our hands, but we need to act responsibly to make sure that we are responsible for what we say. And if we are to help this particular process, let us be wise enough to make sure that we say what we think is good to help this this process rather than creating speculative messages in the community. So I will leave it as that. So on behalf of the disaster office here, let me announce the commencement of the autopsy and the forensics procedures that will start immediately on the 13 bodies that has been recovered. Thank you.
For those that don't know me, I'm newly appointed, or I have been for the last 2 months, as a Provincial Police Commander. My name is Amanda Cates, and first of all, I'd like to say thank you to the Provincial Administrator and the Disaster Coordination Centre. We've worked hand in hand in response to this incident that happened on the 18th of July. The Provincial Administrator has covered everything in relation to the search and to where we are now. And I'd just like to give people an idea of what the next process is. On Thursday last week, we were told that the bodies were decomposed, and my belief is that everybody who is found deserves an identity. So I reached out to Port Moresby, our RPNGC headquarters, and requested a specialist DVI team, which is Disaster Victim Identification. And they came back with, we have an excellent Disaster Victim Identification team in Port Moresby, but what we also have is a forensic pathologist. The forensic pathologist has over 17 years in his field, and he's an expert. What he does is use techniques to identify the victims forensically. He does this by having a staged approach with the first level, which is identification through clothes, through jewellery, through scars, through tattoos, to a process where it involves taking the DNA, and the DNA will determine to the nth degree if this person is who we think it is. If he can be satisfied that he's got enough evidence to identify those, the DNA doesn't need to be taken. But in 1 or 2 cases, it may be unclear. So it's going to be the stage where DNA may be needed from the victim and also possible family members. And this is what's going to cause a delay. The autopsies will commence tomorrow morning. We've got 13 bodies that we need to do autopsies. It is categorically, because of this incident, is going to be a coronial matter. There is no choice, but the autopsies have to be carried out. And that's clear cut. So he'll start the autopsies tomorrow. He'll have the families coming in. They've all filled out the forms. And if he's satisfied of the identification, it's going to be a quick process, probably 1 autopsy in the morning, 1 autopsy in the afternoon. But if we can, if he works hard and he's got the team around him, we may be able to do 2 autopsies in the morning and 2 autopsies in the afternoon. So in actual fact, the autopsies may be complete by Sunday, but things change. Something might happen, the process might get held up. So I'm saying to everybody, let the process be what it is. We can't rush it, and I'd never ever want to rush it. I want these bodies identified to the best of our possible technology, and it is going to be good. So what's going to happen is, from now onwards, it's a coronial matter. Once the autopsies, so the Disaster Victim Identification team and the doctors will be doing their work. At the same time, our Criminal Investigation Department are going to continue to gather evidence. They're going to the initial departure point from Pang Pang Island. They're going to regain statements from Bai. They're going to out to Kavieng. They've got to actually speak to the people who found the bodies, get the statements. So to collate all that, and what that means is a protracted process. It is really important to say that we will, each week, I will endeavour to issue a statement to the family members themselves to say the status of where we are. Can the bodies be collected? Can we do this? And it's just keeping them appraised of the progress that we're making. The family members deserve this. Social media is not their friend at the moment. They are getting bombarded with incorrect information that is harming them, and they need to get it from a single source. As the Provincial Administrator said, we will be the only ones issuing statements. Our statements will be based on fact, not on supposition, not on, oh, but this and how about this. It is up to us to present a case to the coroner, and it's going to encompass everything. So that's where we are at the moment. Each week I will make sure I've got all the immediate contacts and everything like that. The provincial administrator will give them to me, and we will consult before we issue that statement to say that we're both on the same page. It's critical that we only give factual information. And I'll state it again, the family deserve this. And just before I finish up, I'd really, again, like to reiterate that without New Ireland doing what they did, we wouldn't be where we are today. That community, from the provincial government over there to the administrators, to the disaster people, to my counterpart, PPC Albert Belly, they worked tirelessly on behalf of East New Britain and the victims over here and the family members here. I'd like to say thank you so much. And secondly, I'd like to thank Manalus Aviation. They weren't assured what they were going to do, but they wanted to finish the job. So on Sunday, they retrieved the last of the 6 bodies in 2 quick trips to bring everybody home that we've got at the moment. So to Manalus Aviation, Jürgen in particular and his team, thank you. And I'll leave it there. And I think let's just go forward and factual information, and reach out to me and the provincial administrator if you've got questions. Thank you.